Hey, welcome back to I've been recently. In this video, we have Rustler versus Sledge, and this was a video request. And we're going to treat this like all of our other verses. We're going to do some stability tests on a baseball field around the bases. We're also going to test in the grass to see how they handle on different terrain. We're also going to race them side by side to see their racing capability. And these are two different scales, so a lot of these competitions are going to be in one of the other favors. None of them are going to be close in that many of these competitions. But this is a good versus because these are two fast trucks.
This is the Traxxas Sledge. It is running the Millennium 2000 kV brushless motor, which gives it a lot of low-end torque. It does have the 6.7-inch diameter Sledgehammer tires. As far as the overall height goes, it is 8.4 inches tall. It weighs about 12.74 pounds, and that's with no battery. It almost has a 2-inch ground clearance, which is kind of nice, but also keeps it really low to the ground. And the overall length of this truck is 23.78 inches. It's got a lot of stability when it's going around a track. I rarely flip this thing over. It is running the 2275 waterproof Metal Gear steering servo. Now this does have the Millennium VXL 6S ESC, so it is 4S and 6S capable. Now when we're talking about overall speeds, the stock gearing is a 1352, and on a 4S LiPo, you're gonna reach about 35 plus. With the same stock ratio, with two 3S LiPos, you're gonna hit 55 plus. If you want to hit that 70 plus mile an hour range, you're going to want to upgrade your gears to an 1846 and still run two 3S LiPos.
All right, so now for the Traxxas Rustler 4X4 VXL. It is powered by a 3500 Millennium brushless motor that runs on 2S and 3S. It is 18.78 inches long, 12.94 inches wide, and has 1.1 inches of ground clearance. And it is only 5 pounds, so it's a lot lighter than the Sledge, and it's about 6.5 inches tall. It comes with 2.8 black chrome wheels and 4.5-inch tires. It comes with a single-speed transmission and a waterproof 2075 servo. And now for the speed, it runs on 2S and 3S like I said, and with a 2S LiPo on 1754 gear ratio, it'll go 40 miles an hour. On 3S with an 1154 gear ratio, it'll go 40 miles an hour. And if we bump it up to a 1754 gear ratio on 3S, it'll go 60 plus. And for the top speed with a 3S LiPo on 2054 gear ratio, it'll go 65 miles an hour.
All right, so remember, this is a comparison. These are two completely different scales, like Will said, and it's going to be pretty obvious how they handle on the ramp, because the Rustler is so much lighter and flips so much quicker, whereas the Sledge is got to be like 2-3 times the weight. So let's get right into how they handle. So the Sledge with the Sledgehammer tires handles great. I am going to probably upgrade these tires to the Arma backflips. I really wanted to try the Proline Badlands, but I really like the Sledgehammers. All right, I'm going to turn up the speed just a little bit. Woo, almost spun out. It has so much reserved power. And wow, this field is slick. This is way slicker than the normal field we go to. Oh yeah, look at that. I'm gonna be honest with you, I can't put the power all the way down. There. Everything's getting kind of squeaky, but I can't even put the power all the way down. I mean, I'm blipping it around the bags, and I think if it had a little bit more grip out here, I could probably hold it down a little more, or if this was a much bigger field. But the Sledge handles so great, so great. As far as the grass goes, and I can kind of clean it up a little bit. The grass does not slow it down at all. Oh, I think that's, oh, am I doing bicycles? Okay, I haven't done bicycles on this since I got it, so I think this grass being a little bit taller, I'm actually able to get on 2 wheels. So no, it handles great. So let's see the Rustler. I know the Rustler runs really well in the baseball field, but let's check it out.
Yeah, so giving it just a bit too much throttle is just going to cause it to spin out. But that's not all you can say about the Rustler, because we did film a video a few weeks ago called Talon versus Sledgehammer. That was the tire comparison, and we actually did that on an RC track. And the Rustler handled amazing. So it's not a bad car for racing. It's not the best at handling these loose surfaces. And now let's check the grass real quick. It's definitely slower. It definitely bounces a little bit. Kind of hard to turn. Yeah, it's a lot lower to the ground, so it's not going to be the best on grass. Yeah, that's full throttle. It does not do good in the grass at all. All right, so if it was just based off of here, I would say the Sledge wins hands down. But this is very loose, it's very dry and compact, so it's very slick to race on, and if you give it too much throttle, it'll spin out every time. And the Sledge definitely handles better here because it's a lot wider and more low to the ground. But if it was on a track, it would be a lot closer. We did film a video, like I said, when the Rustler was doing great. But even on that track, I'll still give it to the Sledge. So I think the Sledge handles overall better, but it's not by a huge margin.
Yeah, I agree. Hands down, this goes to the Sledge. I wasn't even full throttle. I couldn't go full throttle. And if this was a lot drier, I'd be going full throttle around these bags, and I would leave the Rustler behind. The Sledge has got so much power, and because it's wider, heavier, and low to the ground, it just makes the handling even better. It will not tip over, and you can just keep throttling it. So I would definitely give this to the Sledge. All right, so now we're gonna do a Spe comparison. We're not gonna use the GNS for this because this is gonna be pretty obvious, but we're gonna start at home plate, and we're gonna go through the field. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna go from the field back to the dirt, because it'll show us which car has more traction and which car grips better on dirt and on grass on initial start. All right, so this is from home plate to the middle of the field in 3, 2, 1, go. Wow. I'm sorry, but the Sledge lost so much traction. Look at this line. It lost so much traction and still beat the Rustler to the grass. So look at the line for the Rustler. The Rustler had a nice good line. Look how we crossed right there. The Rustler went perfectly here, and the Sledge zigzagged and started drifting all the way down and still beat the Rustler to the grass.
Even though it beat it to the grass, I think the Rustler passed it once it hit the grass.
Yeah. All right, now let's go from the grass to the field. We're going to have to be really careful because it's really dry here. We don't want to slide into the fence.
All right, so for the second test, we're going from the outfield to the infield. And starting on grass, it's going to be really hard to hold off from a wheelie. So there's going to be a lot of slow starts from the grass. And we're also going to start braking around that second base. And it's mainly because on dry surface, braking's not very good, and we do not want to run into that fence at full speed. So yeah, we're going to let off the throttle around that base, start braking around pitcher's mound. 3, 2, 1, go. Definitely gets a wheelie.
I think I was airborne off that grass. I don't think I touched the dirt until, yeah, look, right here. And the tires didn't touch till here. That's not a comparison, guys.
The first 5 feet might have been close with the Sledge.
Yeah, we'll race one more time. I want to race one more time from home plate back out, just to see if it really is that much faster, because the Rustler's fast out of the box.
Yeah.
So I'm really surprised that the Sledge is beating it.
Yep.
All right, so this is attempt 2 from the dirt to the outfield on 3. Ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1, go. That was too fun.
Almost hit the camera.
I couldn't let off. What do you want me to do? I couldn't let off. We gotta do it again. I'm gonna try this again. I'm gonna try and keep it down. 1, 2, 3, go. Oh, I did a stoppie. Yeah, of course, now I do a stoppie. We're not even in a clash. All right, so the sledge did hit the grass first.
Yes.
So I would expect the sledge to win off of the grass because of how big it is and the bigger tires and more power, but I expect the Rustler to actually perform better on the dirt because of how quick it is.
Yeah.
So I honestly would have to still give this to the sledge. It's just got more power and it's got more speed.
So on dirt and grass, I'll give it to the sledge, but on the road, you still have to technically give it to the sledge if you max it out. But if you take it out of the box with its high-speed gearing, the Rustler's gonna go faster. If you up the gearing to go to its top gearing, but you don't change the tires, Rustler's still gonna go faster. But if they're both tuned to their top spec, Sledge will win the race. All right, so now we're gonna do a jump competition with both cars, and we're just gonna start with some basic jumps, then we'll work our way up to backflips. All right, so we're just gonna do some slow jumps with the Rustler to get started. Didn't give enough brake. What I do like about the Rustler is it's definitely easier to control in the air until you start doing those double backflips. What I mean is it doesn't take much throttle or brake to level it out. That was the smallest brake tap, and I was able to get it from a sky wheelie back to level. Let's give it some more throttle. Missed the ramp a little bit. Now let's get the sledge.
All right, now with the sledge, there's really not a whole lot of trying. Wow, I barely blipped it off the ramp and it got some good height. This is so much fun to jump because it feels like it's going in slow motion. So you have so much time to react. I mean, look at that, like, watch, I'm gonna throttle it mid-ramp just so you can see the height. I've jumped both cars and this one feels completely different when you jump it. Wow, I barely gassed it right there. I'm actually gonna have Will do this because he's never jumped the sledge. All right, so Will's gonna jump it a couple times. He's never jumped the sledge. This is his first time jumping a ramp with it.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely gets a lot more air than the E-Revo. So I was doing what Bandit said, just go really slow up to the ramp and hit the throttle when you're on the ramp. Yeah, that gets a lot more air than the Rustler normally does when you get a good run up. So Sledge has a lot more starting power, has a lot more acceleration than the Rustler, so it just gets a lot more air.
All right, so now we're gonna do some backflips with both cars. We're gonna start off with the Sledge. And I don't know why, but I get anxiety when I jump the ramp and when I race because I feel like I'm about to break a pinion. So I'm trying to get that out of my mind and feel a little bit better about it, but. Ooh, I think I gassed it at the last second, saved it. That was about to nosedive. But again, I don't have to go and get any run up. I can just run up to the ramp. Perfect backflips. I mean, I don't know how many more you want me to do, but I pretty much didn't even accelerate on that one until I got here. It's got so much power, especially with this ramp. Backflips are just way too easy for this. The Rustler, I could say the same thing on 3S. You could probably do a standing backflip from the top of the ramp. So, but let's see how that one controls in the air.
All right, so now we're gonna jump the Rustler. Yeah, the Rustler, it doesn't take much to get it to a full rotation. Just a little tap of throttle once you're in the air, you're gonna get that full rotation out. And yeah, from a if you go from a complete stop at the base of the ramp, you'll end up doing almost triple backflip. So yeah, Rustler has a lot of power, mainly because it's light, and on 3S, it just rotates so fast. So next we're gonna get some more air and see other tricks these cars can do.
But I got a question for you real quick.
Okay.
So when you land, do you hear the chassis slap?
Yeah.
Because that Rustler chassis slaps a lot. Even on grass, you hear it just hit the ground.
Yeah, even these GTR shocks, I don't think they do much for the Rustler.
Yeah, I think you gotta up the weight quite a bit, because I think we're at 60 on these.
Yeah.
We might wanna put these up to 80.
Yeah.
Okay, so now Will is gonna go ahead and do some doubles with the Rustler.
That was a really tough landing.
Actually, that back tire looked like it flexed out when it hit the ground.
Yeah. I have not attempted double backflips with any car in a long time, so I don't know if I'm gonna land many of these.
Ooh, good save.
Yeah, I definitely failed that one. Let's go
That's
for one
good
more.
save. The second he saw that he under-rotated it, he just let off and made a nice smooth landing. Ooh, there you go, good save.
All right, before I do a front flip, I wanna just show you guys something real quick. Another thing the Rustler is good at is how fast it can go from reverse to brake. When you're in the air and you're able to do it this fast, you're able to switch from brake to reverse and back to gas really quick in the air, and allows you to rotate more fluently.
Yeah, some cars have really bad latency when
Yeah.
it comes from reverse to forward, and that causes a little bit of problems when you're trying to do aerials.
All right, next I'm gonna do a front flip.
And of course, he makes it look easy. All right, so we're gonna do a couple more tricks. I'm gonna try a double, and then maybe a Maverick. I'm not sure I wanna do a front flip. So. Nah, it's at a really high jump. Nope.
Ooh. Saves it.
I'm not sure if I can get the height on this. No.
Yeah, that double's not gonna work.
We'll do some other tricks.
Maverick.
Easy. I just don't know how far back I can go before it'll catch up. Actually, pretty far. So.
Front flip. Oh, gets it.
I mean, I can get the save. Okay. I tried a bicycle. All right, so I think overall, I would still choose the Sledge over the Rustler, but there's a lot of considerations with that. If you break the Rustler, it's gonna be a lot cheaper to fix, but some of those things break often, much like the axles. But when you look at the Sledge, you may have a few other things break, like the spur gear, you may break a pinion, you may bend a metal axle, but those parts are a little bit more pricey than the Rustler. So it really just depends on what you're gonna do with them and how much they're gonna break. But I would still pick the Sledge, because once this thing is running great, this thing is so much fun, it's got a lot of power, you can do a lot of cool tricks with it. But don't get it wrong. The Rustler is extremely fun. I love running the Rustler. That's why I run it in the class so much. The backflips are crazy, the saves are crazy, and running this thing around the bags when it's hauling, it's fast, and it's really hard to beat it. So, and the bang for your buck is gonna be with that Rustler.
So yeah, I agree with Bandit for what mostly he said. The Rustler is definitely a good option for a beginner. It was my first 4x4 and it taught me a lot more about stability. So I think if you're getting into the hobby or you're mediocre at the hobby, definitely choose the Rustler. But if you're more experienced and looking for more power, go with the Sledge. Now with the Rustler, yes, you do have to get those GTR shocks, Ultra shocks, they're not gonna do anything for you. And you're definitely going to want to get new tires. They give you no rotation and mostly no grip. So you definitely want to get new tires and new GTR shocks. But you're going to have a lot of fun with both these cars. Both these cars are really fun to have. But yeah, I would overall take the Sledge.
All right, so there you go. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. We gave the best comparison between the two that we could, put them head to head up on some racing, and the outcome was the Sledge is just overall more powerful. And if you guys want to see everything that we did to that Sledge as far as cosmetically and all the upgrades we did, go check out those videos. I mean, we did front and rear diff services, different pinions, spur gears. We went ahead and changed out a lot of the parts and put some green anodized equipment on there, make it look really nice. And I replaced the chassis. That was a really good time lapse of me replacing the chassis. That was really fun to do and not that hard. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe if you guys like this video. It really helps out the channel, and we'll see you on the next one.